Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. St. Patty's Day. Will the markets go green is the question. I don't have a whole lot of news to talk about today. We'll get into the Powell rate hike and possibly where the Fed will go from here. Got some new charts here for you. Hopefully they look good. Good morning. Take a second to get some deep breaths. Inhale some fresh oxygen for the day. Exhale some carbon dioxide for the day. Okay, all right, 10 breaths in, 10 breaths out. Hold the 10th breath out as long as possible. Hold the following breath in as long as possible. And then exhale that long inhale hold with a tongue out exhale. Whatever you're doing right now, I hope it's going very well for you. And take a second to move your face muscles around. Just some of those cells that have been dormant in your body while you sleep. Just wake some of those up. Tug on the ears. Wiggle the nose. Tap on the cheekbones. Tap on the forehead bones. And then just relax. If you didn't do that, don't worry about anything and just try to come into a relaxed state of being here. And just acknowledge what comes into your head for the day. Let it go. It'll come back to you. And breathe. You can always come back to that breath work during the day. Always. That breath is your lifeline. Things are looking weird. Something's going on you don't know about. You're not sure of. Take a second to check in with your breath. I promise you it'll make a world of difference. All right, so markets liked the Fed meeting yesterday. We'll get more detail, but basically we've had 2 green days in a row, and today is St. Patty's Day. will the markets go green for St. Patty's Day? Just a reminder to wear some green in your closet if you have some. Um, I don't necessarily get superstitious. I think you make your own luck. Um, I'm a fan of routines for sure. I'm a fan of routines. I'm a fan of uh, if something, if you are superstitious about something and you think that it gives you the best mindset, then there's nothing wrong with it. I agree. I think, because a lot of it can fall back onto that's just a good routine that you're in. And like a good game day routine is important to get you in the right mindset to deal with factors that may come at you during the game. That's why we take a deep breath beforehand here. That's why we tune in. And that way, when we go about our day to day, whatever you're doing, if you're sales, if you're doing paperwork, if you're trading the stock market, you're going to be ready to handle what comes at you without emotional responses. The worst thing to do is get into emotional trading, is to either keep buying into something because you think it's a good idea and it's not going your way, so you get bold and you get basically uh, you chase it. So don't chase anything. I think we're sort of red pre-market here, so I hope you like the layout. I love this layout. I made it last night, and I think I'll keep it. Um, we are a red pre-market here. Bitcoin's holding up, um, but everything's down in the pre-market. I typically like that, so um, I may even look for a further dip buying opportunity today. Um, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I just wanted to stick to this routine. Come on here and encourage anybody watching this to have a great day. To tune in to really tune in with yourself, and that'll allow you to be in tune with any factors that you may come across today. So, good morning. I love you if you're watching this. I'm praying for you. Leave a comment if you have a stock that you like, because I think psychology of stocks is that stocks are psychology. They're one big psychological experiment on what does the world think about Google right now. Google's got a 20-to-1 stock split coming up this summer, sometime in June. And what does the world think of Google right now? They just had a great earnings. They are um, definitely one of the top companies in the world. Um, so I don't see 10 years from now Google having majorly less revenue or market share. So, um, love the lights on in here. I kind of like to be sitting in peace, be sitting in the dark stillness. I do love that it's been lighter out in the afternoon. So, hope it sounds really good today. Obviously, I'm just, this is the first week doing this. I plan to be here somewhere in my house for the rest of my life doing this. Why not? This is so much more productive for me than sitting on my couch in the morning, drinking my coffee, just mindlessly scrolling through my phone. Just looking at the news. And I was looking at this stuff anyway, so what's the difference? If I could then take a morning routine, amplify it to now I'm ready, now I'm getting showered, I'm up, I'm awake. I can just add value during a time that I wasn't very productive. Yeah. If you're super productive in the morning, if you're up and you're getting work done, that's great for you. I was super lazy in the morning. In fact, I'm an overall fairly lazy person. Lazy and unorganized brain. My brain seeks pleasure and it will procrastinate on things that don't immediately bring me pleasure, like doing dishes, doing laundry. That type of stuff doesn't give me pleasure, and therefore my brain does, for some reason, doesn't love doing it. It's crazy. So if you've got an instant gratification brain out there that's taking hold of the ship, let me know. That's my brain. Love some instant gratification. But I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. Pray for your brothers and sisters of this world. Pray for humanity. Pray for the ease of suffering. A lot of suffering going on in this world, and if you're blessed to be tuning in with me today, I hope you get relief of suffering in your life, but I hope you also pray and try to bring a relief of suffer. Take some suffering out of the world in general. Take some suffering out of the world. It's too much of it. Put your faith in the afterlife. Put your faith in something greater. Put your faith in a higher power, to know that this world is imperfect. It is imperfect, not perfect in any way, shape, or form. And it has been corrupted. It has been corrupted, I can guarantee. And you have a body after this earth body is done. Man, that coffee's good. It's my first cup today. What you think? You like the light on in this room? Like to be able to see my face? Every new day is a gift from God. Every new day is a gift from God. It's not going to be like the last day. It is a new day. We tune in every morning with ourselves so that we can deal with what comes throughout our day. And nothing may come. It may be a nice chill day. I hope that for you. Um, you may have 5 or 6 different things going on at work that you're not sure which one's going to come first. How you're going to juggle them? Just tune in, breathe, and you'll get through it. You'll make it work. You'll make it work in a really good way too. Um, so I hope you know that. I hope you do that. I hope you know that just taking a second, tuning in with yourself, will help you deal with things you encounter throughout your day and throughout your life. Let's take a look at some headlines. So the headline we got, I think that's bring the market down some, is we've had digestion from the Powell rate point hike. He gave a 0.25 basis point rate hike, so a very small interest rate hike. They did continue mortgage-backed debt asset purchases until their May meeting, which they're at that time going to assess whether they will still taper the budget. So that was expected. Powell got one question about the balance sheet debt and possibly when that debt will need to run off of the Fed's balance sheet. And he skirted it real fast. He pointed to, you'll have to wait till the minutes for that to come out. And he really skirted that question and kind of, after he was talking and after he got asked that question, he didn't really like it. And he wanted you to have to refer to the minutes, which the minutes will come out a couple weeks later. For anybody that doesn't know, the minutes are basically the written dialogue, the written paper dialogue from the 2-day meeting that the Fed had. Now, Fed Powell's remarks and statement released yesterday is from that meeting, but it only gave a general, what are we going to do now? It didn't give the details on the outline of what we're going to do at our meeting in May and then at our meeting in either June or July. So the market right now is expecting a series of rate point hikes. And we started off small because we'll see. Right now we have, I'm sure as you all know, we have a over demand in the housing market. So Econ 101 is supply and demand. If there's not enough supply and excess demand, prices are going to increase because you're now competing with other buyers. If there's excess supply and not enough demand, you're going to see suppliers now competing with each other by having to lower costs because they want to. There's not enough buyers. It is now a very competitive market and they need to lower their prices. So time can help ease supply chain pressure. And that was why my thought was always take it low and slow, because something crazy could happen where demand falls off a cliff and now the reason we got here in the first place is because demand fell off a cliff during COVID, and the Fed needed to lower interest rates. I believe they even did an emergency uh, interest rate cut. An emergency is never a good thing because that means it's going unaccording to plan. Something crazy has happened. So we saw demand fall off a cliff, um, and that led to the cuts. Now we're seeing really strong demand going into an interest rate hike. In my opinion, it is only going to little move the market. I think you have so much demand, especially in the housing market, um, especially in the car market. Used truck market is very similar, but the housing market is one people are familiar with because you know if you've if you're my age, you've probably either a recently bought a house in the last 4 or 5 years, or you know you're now looking now, and there are no houses available in good areas. I check here in Charleston pretty often, and nothing, nothing in my price range at least. Um, so we'll see. Will a small interest rate hike, and I think we're already seeing slightly the long term mortgage interest rates go up. I'm not in real estate. I'd have to consult with a broker or somebody that knows a little more about the current state of mortgages to know where that 30-year interest rate's sitting on that. But I'd be interested if anybody out there sees this and is a realtor. Hit me up. Let me know if you're seeing. And but to me, demand is so strong that a raising interest rate really, by the small percentage that we just did, you're not going to see a big drop in these housing prices because demand is still so strong, and people aren't going to mind paying a tiny bit more interest, you know. And if anything, it could remove a couple competitors from that demand pool, but I think you're still going to be oversaturated with demand and not enough supply, especially in the housing market. And we could look at the car market, um, or your commodities market, and we could potentially see the demand from some businesses who manufacture things to, if their demand drops, they could have to cut their supply output. But I think demand is just so strong right now. I'll be right back. Yo, if anybody wants to come visit, come on. We're gonna have a good time. We're getting into some really good months here in Charleston. Um, should be about 70 degrees today. Um, it's gonna be great here. The water temperature is gonna start getting into the 70s, and it's gonna be great. Stream status is poor. Y'all, my freaking Wi-Fi is such shit. They only offered like 50 megahertz on my Wi-Fi for my townhome that I'm in, my duplex. It's ridiculous. So you got the S&P futures kind of popping up from a morning low. So that's good. You see, we kind of, had a temporary peak yesterday after a little 2-day rally. I don't know why it's not changing that chart. Okay, there we go. So, you got a little peak Wednesday and Thursday there. Excuse me, today's Thursday. So, you like to see us climbing back up. Oh, we had a really couple good Tuesday increase, Wednesday increase to bounce back. So, it's good to see us holding up at that level. I just got a couple wheat ETF calls. That's why I've been checking the price of wheat here. But again, my internet is so shitty now that I'm in my upstairs, surfboard room, and I don't think the Wi-Fi is making it up here real well. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Up a tiny bit. We want to see Brent crude under this 100 level. I'm thinking about getting Benzinga Pro, but I really don't think you need that. The only thing that I like from that is the volume scanners. I think that sometimes they offer. That way you can see like what's going crazy in the pre-market, but I'm pretty sure that so Chinese stocks did crazy good yesterday, and from the looks of it, I can't tell if this is pre-market or post-market, but let's look at pre-market volume, pre-market percentage gain. So these are some of our pre-market movers here, and so this is, something that Benzinga Pro would offer, but you can, if you got the knowledge, you can figure all the same stuff out. God, I really hope the video is okay. We'll see. We will see. But so we got some of these companies here. I never heard of some of these